Okay, we're gonna try this again, and hopefully we don't have all of those boxes pop up. It looks like we're okay now.
All right, well, whatever.
Yeah, we are learning how to not learning how to well, we are learning how to TikTok,
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
but we're doing what we can. So we are here to talk about kink and polyamory and our lifestyle. We've gotten a lot of questions. We've gotten tons of questions on our videos on just really how did we get into kink, our thoughts about kink, and especially being black and kinky. So we are definitely here. Hold on. We are definitely here to just kind of introduce ourselves, I guess, to TikTok. If you guys are following us on YouTube, we talk a lot about our our lifestyle there. Hey Tomasi. Um, and we really just kind of want to throw that out there to you guys. So, how did we get started in kink? Mac, do you want to go first?
I'll go first. Um, I don't really have a straight answer. Um, I have had partners who were into kink when I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was in undergrad, I had a partner who was into kink that didn't really know how to communicate that she was into kink. So she would say, I want to try this, I want to try that.
Mm-hmm.
And I would try it with her. And it was like, okay, cool, yeah, I got handcuffed this one time. Or, this, that, and the other. But getting into the lifestyle wasn't until much later.
Mm-hmm.
When I had a partner who understood this is what I'm into. Would you like to know if this is what you're into as well? And so,
So you got introduced to the lifestyle.
Right. So, then I started exploring all the kinky Facebook groups and, looking up articles about it. And
Time to be on Facebook.
They would say that they said, here's the pool, dip your toe in it, see how you feel. And I dived in head first.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Me, I'm gonna take it back a little bit. There were always things that I liked, that I wanted, and I never had partners who understood the assignment, or they were just adverse to it completely. But I didn't know what it was. I kind of thought something was wrong with me initially, and I'm sorry. Hello, I want to ask, since there is a war going on, who are you for, Russia or Ukraine? Okay, so we're talking about kink and polyamory. We are not talking about politics. That's not what we're here for. Sorry. But I didn't know what it was called. I didn't know what it was I actually wanted. So I thought something was wrong with me. And way back in 2016, back when the Book of Faces was a lot spicier than what it is now, I wind up finding a very particular group, and all of the things that I wanted were being discussed in this group, and I finally saw and understood what I was, what I wanted, and the type of person that I needed to be with. So it wasn't until 2018 that I dipped my toe. I did not jump head first like that. I dipped my toe and really found someone I thought would be a good counterpart in exploring kink and understanding kink and all of the things that I wanted to do. So that's how I got my start, was really always having these urges, always having these desires, always having these things that I wanted, and not having a name for it and not having someone who wanted to do those things with me.
Conversely, I had no idea that this was something that I wanted or something that I was interested in. But, you know, that whole hindsight thing.
Yeah.
I have been a role player for my entire adult life.
Yeah.
And looking back at some of the characters that I used to create.
Wildly in the lifestyle.
Hold on. Slave masters, owners.
Yes.
Just... Yeah.
He's always been in a lifestyle. He just didn't know it was a lifestyle. Is basically what we're getting at. Hey, Kay. Are you guys looking for another partner? As of right now, we are not. There are several life changes that we are going through right now. We are in the process of moving across country. We are trying to buy a house. There's a lot of moving pieces to who we are right now. So after we have gotten more established in our new setting and really just finding our groove with each other, not that we don't have one, it's more it's more so the groove in the new setting. We will be opening up for partners. We will not be dating as a couple. We will have our own separate partners. Now, if we decide to mix and mingle one night because the mood strikes, that's one thing. But we will be dating separately. We feel like that's best for us. And this is a conversation that we have often, even though we're not open, even though we know that, you know, we have a little ways away before we're open. We have this conversation often to make sure that we're always on the same page. Ideally, we are both looking for someone who is also poly, obviously.
But is also partnered.
That was my next thing. We are looking for people who are poly and partnered already, because we don't want there to be what's the word that I'm looking for, babe? What?
Because we are engaged / married, we have kids, we live together.
Yeah, we are a unit.
There's a sense of hierarchy to our polyamory, and in order to avoid that being, you know, something that could end up being problematic, we want to ensure that any partners that we do have don't feel like they are relying entirely on us for their care.
Right.
Or they're not getting enough attention from us because we always got kids. Like,
right. We are very, very ethical in our hierarchy polyamory. We do not treat people like objects. We don't treat people as things we can, okay, so you're on the shelf right now. I'm just going to spend the next however long with my nesting partner, you know. We are very much aware that the stigma of hierarchy polyamory is very negative, for good reason, because there are a lot of people who abuse that. And we understand that, and we are very much wanting to be as ethical as possible when it comes to hierarchy polyamory. Because we respect people as humans, right? And we respect the openness of loving more than one person. But we also realize that, you know, our house comes first. That's just how we feel. The house comes first, making sure the needs of the house come first. But we are aware and we are respectful of any partner we may have outside of that.
So, Corey Sims says, have y'all come across any drama in the lifestyle? Okay, so, a bridge story time?
I don't know how to tell the abridged story, so you got it, Daddy. You got it.
So, when Coco and I met, Coco already had a partner. He was a buddy of mine. I wouldn't say we were friends, but...
I wasn't homie hopping.
But we didn't know each other. We had some similar circles, some mutual friends. And if you follow my other TikTok, you know that I am heavy into Dungeons and Dragons. He was playing in one of my campaigns that I was DMing. And Coco wanted to get into Dungeons and Dragons. So I offered to him to invite her into the game. And, you know, we played the game. Mm-hmm. No big deal.
Went through that whole campaign.
And when the campaign was over, and, you know, we were all deciding what we were going to do next, what games we were going to get into next, Coco needed help kind of navigating, getting into a new campaign. And so I helped her to create a character, and we were chatting it up about WandaVision.
Yeah. I am a huge Marvel fan. So, like, the moment you get me talking, that's it.
And so, long story short, we're talking every day. And then we realized one day that we didn't talk, and we're like,
this does not feel okay. This is not all right. Like, it wasn't even a whole day. We went, like, a smooth 8 hours without talking to each other. And we was like, no. Don't do that.
And so, you know, we were like, okay, so I know I'm polyamorous, and I know you're open.
Yeah, I was open, because sex is fun, and group sex is fun, and having sex with different people is fun. So I was open. I was open in my relationship. We were free to hang out and do what we wanted to do with other people, whatever. But our relationship was our relationship. And the idea of polyamory never really sat with me. And here you come along.
So, the three of us had some talks. Mm-hmm. And we decided, you know, we're going to do this. I became her second partner. Mm-hmm. Now, the abridged part is her first partner was fucking up. And so...
Yeah, that's the abridged version.
He ain't there no more.
Yeah. So when we talk about the drama of the polyamory lifestyle, part of the drama that we experienced was jealousy. And it was the fact that we were kitchen table. And what kitchen table polyamory means is we were everybody was aware of everybody, right? There was no, you know, he didn't talk to my first partner at the time. Like, everybody was aware of everybody, and we would have family meetings every month. Let's talk about, you know, how we're feeling about the dynamic. Are you feeling any kind of way about anything? With me being in the middle, I wanted to make sure, you know, are you guys feeling like I'm providing enough attention, or am I slighting you? All of these things. We would have these meetings every month. And every month, my former partner, I'm fine. It's cool. It's fine. And you could visibly see the decline month after month. And it just got to the point where it was so loud that it just wasn't working anymore. And a lot of the problems that I had with my first partner wasn't even about our dynamic. It was about him. And, you know, I take accountability for my part in it as well. But as far as drama, it was really the lack of communication. When given the opportunity to say, hey, I'm feeling this kind of way, I'm feeling that kind of way, he didn't take it. And so we couldn't fix anything. And I am all about transparency, and sometimes I overshare. So that made it really difficult.
I think it's important, and it's something that I didn't really think about until we were in that situation. But it's important to acknowledge that you can feel jealousy and compersion at the same time.
Yes.
They're not mutually exclusive. But you absolutely need to talk about it. Because, and we were just having this conversation in a group chat earlier, if you're not being honest about who you are and how you feel, you're going to start to feel resentment.
Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. I really feel like because things were kept bottled up, the resentment for not just Mac, but for myself as well, grew exponentially in a very short amount of time. Going back to the questions, Faux Real Fantasy, what do you suggest for those very interested in getting into kink? Do your research. Do your research. Do not jump head first into anything. And I say this for those who may be an S-type. Those who are on the right side of the slash, as they say. If you are looking to be on the submissive end of things, please do your research. Do not just jump up and say, I'm a submissive slave and I do all of this stuff. Make sure you do your research and get a feel for what feels right to you. You can be more than one thing. He never know what he gonna wake up to when it comes to what kind of submissive I'm going to be day to day. So it's okay to be more than one thing, but make sure you have an understanding of what that thing is, right? And what your limits are, what your boundaries are within that. Like, I identify as a pet sometimes, feline, if you will, but you're not gonna see me drinking out of a milk bowl. You're not going to see me using a litter box. Some people take it that far. And that is your prerogative to do so as a, person of kink. But I know what my boundaries are in my submission. And that's something that you should definitely research and understand before you present yourself as being open for a partner for the left side of the sash.
And on top of that, you're also going to want to know what it is about about your chosen kinks that does it for you, so that you can communicate that to your partner, so that they can be effective in sharing that with you. I was talking about my first kinky partner that I had when I was in college, and they knew that these were things that they were into, but they didn't know how to communicate them. And so I didn't understand that I wasn't providing something that they needed. So the communication is just as important as the act.
Yes. And I mean, even for a very small example, about to lay one of my kinks out here. I remember when Mac and I were first getting to know each other's kinks and explaining them to each other. I told him I had a fabric kink. What the fuck is a fabric kink? I like being stimulated with certain fabrics being the barrier between me and what's stimulating me. And explaining that to him, explaining why I like it, just so when he's ready to attempt this, he has an understanding of what it is about me that likes this, so it's easier for him to do it, if that makes sense. I'm gonna put my life coach hat on for a second, because yes, kinky life coach is also part of the many hats that I wear. I would also suggest understanding why you have the kink that you have. And if there's healing involved in that kink, that you work to heal it before you bring someone else in to your kink. If there's unhealed trauma behind it, if there is unresolved personal issues attached to a kink, all of these things definitely require.
Thank you for the gifts and the likes, by the way.
Oh yes, thank you. All of these require a certain level of awareness and accountability as well. You want to go into kink. You want to go into anything as healed as possible, right? But when it comes to kink, there is a certain level of awareness you need to have with yourself before you bring other people in. So that's just, a little life coach.
All right. So we have another one.
I want to address, sorry guys, we're getting over colds. Phenom Noir. Unless it's a commune, I don't see how hierarchy can be escaped, keeping it 100. And I agree. Especially when you have an established couple already, it is kind of hard to not have a hierarchy. Now, there are people who are able to do it. I'm not saying it's impossible. We see it, right? But, go ahead.
I think what's important is in that hierarchical polyamory, we understand that people are not to be treated as accessories.
Right.
That's why people talk about the stigma of unicorn hunting. Because at the end of the day, that person who wasn't there in the beginning is still a person.
Right. And they have emotions and feelings and expectations, right? But that's also kind of why we're dating separately. I feel like, we shouldn't be everything to each other all of the time. And it's like, if you find something in someone else and you want to share that with them, it doesn't always have to be a couple thing, if that makes sense. Like, I find something in this partner that I want to share intimately, as long as my safety, this partner that I want to share intimately, as long as my safety is intact, as long as I'm not doing anything that goes against my family, my health, things of that nature, then Mac is just fine with me living that part of my life without him. But me, I'm going to tell him anyway because I share everything with him. And it's, vice versa. But we still have that individuality amongst us to have separate partners. And if, like I said, if it comes down to, we just having a party at the house and everybody there and everybody having a good time, then it is what it is, So I completely agree, Phenom Noir.
The next one was, how do you handle it when you ain't in a mood / mindset to submit?
So, why are you looking at me like that?
Like what?
So, this is not something that we've discussed, but I feel like Mac has an understanding of when I am me and when I am one of my sub-personas. Especially when it comes to sex. Like, there are behaviors and mannerisms that I have that let him know, this is Coco. Whereas there are other mannerisms where this is Cub, right? And I feel like if you are with somebody who can't understand that there are times where, I'm just a regular ass adult right now trying to live life, then you have to reevaluate that, because we're human. We are human before we are a sub. We are human before we are a dom. And there are going to be times where I ain't got it in me for that right now, dog. Like, I'm not ready to put a collar on right now. Or when it talks about, pet play or something like that. And that's okay. But I can only speak as a sub.
So, for context, we are in a 24-hour dynamic. Mm-hmm. So, this beautiful creature is my submissive all of the time. But we are also two adults trying to run a household with two kids running around tearing stuff up. So I have to be able to look at my submissive and say, okay, this is a moment where we have to speak to each other as parents or as adults or as people paying bills. Mm-hmm. And we have to set that to the side for a moment in order to do what we have to do.
Now, I mean, if I get too out of line while we both being adults, he still reminds me of what the fuck's going on. But yes, when the situation calls for it, sometimes you don't have time to be in a dynamic in that moment. That doesn't mean that invalidates the dynamic. That doesn't mean the dynamic goes away. It's just that in that moment, that's not the priority, you know? And that's okay. Like, the moment that you decide to enter a dynamic with someone, it should always be understood and expected that life is going to life. And when life starts lifing, I gotta handle that before you tell me to kneel, before you tell me, you know what I'm saying? Before you put that capital D into the situation. We're human at the end of the day.
So we're all caught up. So you want to talk about this TikTok beef we had last week?
Oh my God. Oh my God, y'all. Okay, so, and it's funny because they engage with us so much, this might actually pop up on their For You page, which would be wild. So last week, we did a TikTok. We stitched a comedian's TikTok talking about the more a man loves you, the less kinky he wants to be with you. And I remember doing this duet, and Mac was like, nah, I got this one. And he did his thing. Basically saying more love, more kink. Like, that became that became a thing. More love, more kink. And all of the comments were on point, past the vibe check, except for 2 comments from 2 men. One actually expressed the fact that he would like more information and understanding on how to remove the stigma of kink not being for your wife or not being for a significant partner that you really love. He was looking for clarity and looking to be better. There was one cat who was like, nah, skeeting on your wife's face ain't it. So then Mac made a video in response to the comment saying, that's cute, but as for me, I'm going to turn up, right? And so other people started commenting under his comment. And then this man said, that's how you treat a bitch. That's not how you treat a wife. To which I replied, that makes sense. That explains a lot. If that's your mentality, then that explains a lot. That's all I said, right? Child. When I tell you these comments went to shambles, people started... Somebody called this man powerfully vanilla, and I have been a wreck ever since. Like, that is my new go-to, that you are powerfully vanilla, baby. That's it. So, once I made that video, and I guess too many people were hopping on to talk about this man, he got his wife to hop into the comments, talking about how she is happy and she is satisfied. And then she added us and says, well, what does that explain? What does that mean? To which we got back on and was like, baby, your man are calling people bitches and putting worth on sexual activity. That's something that you need. You need to unpack, baby. We not saying nothing about your marriage. We not devaluing your marriage. We not devaluing you. We not devaluing you. But cute for you if you like being embarrassed on the internet. Child crickets. She ain't had nothing to say about that video. He said that the whole concept went over our heads. And it was the wildest, like, 2 hours of our TikTok existence. Because, like, what the fuck? Why are we TikTok beefing over skeeting on somebody's face? I don't understand.
And so
Child, his wife, honey. His wife.
And so we decided to stop interacting with the whole exchange. We just decided to stop commenting.
Yeah.
But the comments kept coming.
Yeah. They kept coming for old boy. This one chick was like, you probably cheating because if you was doing that with bitches, then you not doing it with your wife, you still doing it and did it. Like, it got real. It got really real. It had nothing to do with us though. We wasn't getting in the middle of all that. But TikTok beef over skeeting. Over skeeting, child.
Oh.
Now, there was another comment that I wanted to address from that video. When it comes to being black and kinky. And this is something that we've talked about on our YouTube page. It's hard being black and kinky. It's really hard because the first thing you hear from other black folks is that's that white people shit. And then from there, you know, you want to be, I know me personally, I can't see myself being kinky with somebody who is not black just because the cultural differences, like, I can't even present an example, but like, if I'm in a situation and somebody's telling me to take dick, I'm going to take dick, but you're not going to tell me to take cock because then I'm going to be like, stop. I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police.
Oh, they're going to cancel our account. This is our first time going live.
Like, I'm be quiet. You take it over, Daddy. I can.
So, we initially became aware of each other's existence in a Black King group on Facebook.
And yes, for Real Fantasy, I think we might have ruined his relationship with that whole TikTok beef. Go ahead.
And because of that, we were both able to make a lot of Black kinky friends who we are still in regular contact with now.
Yes.
Also, through D&D, we managed to have met more.
Hi, y'all.
So it's not like we're not out there.
Yeah.
But because it's not mainstream for Black people to be kinky, and in a lot of ways I'm glad it isn't. Yeah. You gotta look in the creeks and the crevices.
Yeah. You know, we kind of have our own little dog whistles when it comes to finding other kinks, kinksters. The problem is there's such a there's a societal stigma against kink, and then there's a Black stigma against kink. Because if I tell somebody, you know, we have moments where he's master, I'm slave. You what? You slave? Not understanding the context behind it. You think Black folks enslaved? Again, I'm gonna call 911. Like, it doesn't translate well, right? But we all have we have our little dog whistles to you know,
to suss out.
Right. But we out here. We definitely out here. Now, it's very prevalent in the nerd community.
Yeah.
We nasty. I don't know what it is.
I don't join like kink societies anymore. I join nerd groups.
Like,
and the kinks just kind of reveal themselves.
It's anime, it's comics, and whips. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Go to your local Comic-Con. That's where they at.
Could you imagine a Black con with a BDSM undertone? So much role play, so many cosplays, so much leather.
Listen, we get to 1 million followers, we'll host that. We'll host it.
Absolutely, that would be amazing. But we out here. We are definitely out here. 2015 to 2017 was an amazing time to be on the Book of Faces for the kink community. Let me tell you.
Oh boy.
What a time to be alive, baby. Because we were actively seeking each other out. We actively had a space, a safe space to just be out there. Like, I'm pretty sure there's pictures of me floating around from that era of Facebook. But you know, everything is getting toned down, everything is getting censored, everything is getting policed now. So it is a lot harder.
What do y'all think of FET? I do not use FET. Technically, I have an account. I probably couldn't get into it to save my life. But almost every horror story that I've heard concerning kink starts on FET.
I have a FET account. And I check it every once in a while just to see how disgusting people are. And I am never disappointed. FET Life is awful. FET Life is where the 50 Shades of Grey folks go to fester.
Neptarian says they have it. They just had something in New Jersey and DC.
Well, damn! Where we been? I'm sad that I'm out of the loop because I would want nothing more than to go to a comic/kink con with black folks. That's like God tier right there. No, I need details. I need details on that. Absolutely. What other questions do you guys have? Because, you know, I'll start talking about random shit.
Also, we do have the best self-intimacy deck.
Oh, yeah, we have.
Which has collected dust because we haven't used it since our first YouTube video.
We know everything about each other.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Not in the entire time we have dated, talked, dated, engaged, all of this, we have only gone one day without talking to each other.
And that day was horrible.
That was a god-awful day. We weren't even in a relationship, mind you. And when this day happened, I felt like he broke up with me. And I'm not exaggerating. I didn't understand it. Like, I cried because I thought I had lost a part of myself because of the circumstances around while we went that 24 hours without talking. I thought I had lost an appendage. I cried a lot that day. I was very, very sad, very depressed, and I didn't understand why. Why am I feeling this about a person that I'm not with? Why am I feeling this about a person that I just started talking to, and not really realizing that we had fell in love by then already? Yeah, like.
Oh yeah. Good luck with that.
Please get us the info. I am. We need all of that. I need all of that information. But yeah, our relationship is a wild one, and some would think that it is extremely fast paced. Because we just got into a relationship last June.
Yeah. Technically, yeah.
Yeah. We haven't even been in a relationship 2 years yet. But the depth of our connection is like, I make a joke about it all the time, saying that we're like a Hallmark and a BET movie combined. And he's so annoyed when I say that. But it's the truth. Like, because of the drama, that's where like the BET part comes in, because we had a lot of drama the first like 6 months of our relationship. Actually, we had drama while we were talking, plus the first 6 months of our relationship. But
yeah, that tracks.
To feel like you have known somebody for lifetimes, we literally will share the same brain. Like, pissed off that before I can say something, he just said it, and vice versa. Or like, we'll say it at the same time. We'll have the same mannerism at the same time.
All right. See you later, for real.
Bye, for real.
Yeah. Well, to specify, that is when we became official.
Yeah, we were officially boyfriend and girlfriend in June of 2021. I guess we're going into the non-abridged version of this. So Mac also had a partner at the time that we started talking. And that was a poly-ish relationship. And there was a lot of drama circling that. A lot of miscommunication, a lot of backtracking, and so we talked a lot as friends, very intensely for like 3-4 months.
Through June?
Yeah, February through June, we talked very intensely, as friends, like, you know, because of how he felt in his relationship, and, you know, wanting to respect that. And I say this every time we talk about our story. There was something that made me fall in love with Mac before I realized I fell in love with Mac. And
I can't keep up with the gifts coming in because it's really small text, but thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you. He said something to me, and it was when we talked about us being in a relationship, and he said, I want to be in a relationship with you, and I want to respect that relationship, but in order for me to do that, I have to respect the relationship that I am in now. And that was just a level of maturity and a level of understanding that really just kind of was like, oh, okay, I got it. I got you. Like, that hit me. And that will always be something that the integrity that Mac has always been something that I've respected and I've loved. And unfortunately, you know, it didn't work out with his partner. And I remember about a month before we made it official, you know, we talked about being in a relationship. And I was like, well, I don't want to be your girlfriend unless you tell me face to face. And I said that because we had already had a meetup planned from our D&D group for June. And that's when he asked me to be his girlfriend. So. Yeah.
So it should also be noted that during this time I was on the East Coast and she was on the West Coast.
Yes. He was all the way in North Carolina and I was all the way in Nevada. So we were long distance-ish. We are the most long distance couple for that time. We were long distance for 4 months. And we saw each other like every 3 weeks in those 4 months. Hell, I saw him at one point more than I saw my first partner. And he lived in the same city. So yeah, that is an unsolicited origin story of us.
So
not the sugar is so sweet.
So we putting our business in the streets, or?
I mean, we can. I don't care.
All right, pick a color.
Let's go with yellow.
Yellow.
Shout out to Ocean.
Once again, best self intimacy deck.
Yes.
We got this from Amazon.
Amazon.
All right.
I think they're like $20.
I know y'all can only like see my left ear, but
slide in
here. Can you remember what I was wearing when we first met?
Yes. You were wearing yellow sweats and a t-shirt.
Was I?
Yep.
When I got off the plane?
Yep.
Okay.
And you don't even remember what you had on.
I don't.
Do you remember what I had on?
I don't.
God. Terrible.
Look, man. I can't remember everything.
Mm-hmm. Pick a color.
I remember the expression on your face.
What was the expression on my face?
You ain't want to look me in the eye. You was nervous as well.
I was so nervous. Oh my God. Like, this man has seen my whole beginnings, all my openings, all of my whole entire body on FaceTime. But the moment we were sharing the same air, I was so nervous. Like, I was a wreck. It was stupid. It was so stupid.
Green.
It was effort put into the outfit. Thank you. It was. And he don't even remember. Terrible. Which personal accomplishment are you most proud of and why?
I put a ring on it.
It didn't have to be about me.
That don't matter. That's the answer.
I love you too. Y'all, he was not, when I tell you this man was not playing, so while we were still in a full polyandrous relationship, we were like weeks in, and he was like, so who gets to marry you first? Because...
For context, that is not how it went. Like, it's close, but it's not it. Because I was avidly trying to avoid stepping on toes.
True.
But at the same time, I'm a grown-ass man.
Yes.
Like, already.
Yes.
and he's still trying to figure that being grown stuff out.
Yes.
So, I understand that he was here first, and I don't want to get in the way of anything he got going on. But I'm ready now, so like...
Yeah. He was... when I tell y'all, Mac has never played about me from the moment we started talking until this moment that we are talking right now. He has always been very loud and very vocal about his intentions for me.
Oh, Exotica. Yeah, I actually have heard of that.
I have not.
I actually follow that on YouTube, I think.
We're going to have to look into Exotica because that seems like somewhere we need to be.
Yeah, it's not a Comic Con, though. It's about what it's about.
Okay. Still. Sounds like somewhere we need to be. But yes, one thing that I have always loved about Mac is how loud he is about me. And how fiercely he supports me, because literally no matter what I want to do, all right, so how are we going to do this? Okay, so how is this going to fit in here? Okay, so what do you need from me? Right?
Yeah, I would be too.
Yeah. We might have to add this to the list of things for next year. For sure. I am also Coco Kitten Bruja. I don't know if you guys are aware. Feel free to follow me on that on TikTok as well. But at one point in time, I was going live very often on the Book of Faces. And he was always there. He is always there. Unless he has a reason where he literally physically cannot be there, he is on every live. He is always supporting literally everything I do. When I stream, if it's me staying up all night to get readings done, he's right there with me, supporting me. Do I need water? Do I need this? One of the nights that I remember the most, I had a special going on, and I had readings for like $25. And like...
Yes, she has another TikTok.
I do. And actually, that one's going to start getting a little bit more spicy. Anyway.
And 2 YouTubes.
Yeah, and yeah, there's also 2 YouTubes. But there was a moment I read a promotion, and it was for like a $25 general reading, and like everybody and their mama jumped on it, and I found myself having like 13 readings to do in one day. And this man, 3-hour time difference, stayed up with me through every single reading, making sure that I was okay, making sure that I took time to take breaks, make sure that, you know, my energy was okay. Listen, Mac don't go into it as much as I do, but Mac is a very spiritual person, and that's something else that has always drawn me to him, his energy, because of just how aware he is of energy and frequencies, and just, y'all, I can talk forever about this man. Let me stop.
We don't need to do that.
We can, though.
Nobody is here to hear you gush about me.
You stop.
But yes, that Miami though. That Miami though.
I was in Miami?
They said upcoming dates for next year in Chicago, Miami, New Jersey, and DC.
That Miami though. That might be the lit.
We got a lot of stuff planned for next year.
See, yeah, listen. Spirituality saved my life. Kink and spirituality saved my life. And thank you so much.
Oh, that was a new one.
Definitely saved my life. And my spirituality is such a huge part of who I am. It's such a huge part of us and our family. It gets us through anything. It gets us, you know, to anything. And having somebody who matches your energy, sometimes he exceeds my energy, and sometimes I look to him as motivation to catch up, you know. To have somebody there in that capacity is everything, right? And it doesn't have to be spirituality. If if you're Christian and the other person's Christian, like having that match of energy is amazing. And we've talked about this on YouTube. Having different belief systems can work. It just takes a lot of work to make it work, you know. Miami is July 14th. July is a good time for us.
I don't think we have anything planned in July.
Nope.
We'll look into that. We'll
look into July in Miami now.
Can you share about y'all's spirituality? Okay, so for me, it's not the same as it is for her. She is very studied. She's very proficient in a lot of different facets of spirituality and divining and all sorts of things. I have an innate taking to it. I pick things up quickly, but I don't have the study and the practice that she has. So a lot of the time, me learning things from her, I was working on learning tarot until I kind of spooked myself, and I haven't picked up my deck in a while. But for me, I manifest very easily. Like,
it's ridiculous.
Accidentally, often.
Like he could say something, and then like tomorrow, there it is. Or like, I remember when we were on a cruise. Damn, that was this year. I was about to say last year. Fuck. We went on a cruise in July, and he was like, we walked into the casino part of the ship, and he was like, somebody about to win some money. And literally every time we sat next to somebody, they hit a jackpot. We ain't hit no jackpot though.
Like 3 times. Like three times in a row.
He sat next to somebody and they walked away with at least 2 G's. The way he has a natural ability. He has several natural abilities when it comes to spirituality. And like, it's just there. I am learning how to control my natural abilities, but I have taken the time to read, study, learn different things. I am a medium. I do a lot of cartomancy, but I can divine with damn near anything. And so, but the thing is, above all else, we are a house of sovereignty. And what that means is we are source. We are spirit. We are the energy. We don't idolize deities. We don't have a belief in a god. We see deities as facets of us. So like right now, I'm working heavy with Oshun. In Oshun, I see my beauty. In Oshun, I see all of the facets of Oshun are facets of me. And in me working with Oshun, I am learning how to deal with my body image issues. I'm learning how to do different things that are very personal to me in working with Oshun. In working with Bast. Bast is a deity who it just resides in our house. She is ever present. But at the same time, we don't like worship Bast. We worship ourselves. We worship each other.
We worship the hell out of each other.
Yeah, we worship the hell out of each other. But we practice sovereignty. We are a sovereign household. Our divinity resides in us. So yeah.
Thou art God. You right.
Exactly. So, we don't do a lot of, we don't do religion at all. Whether it's ATR, whether it's, Christianity, anything that is a structured, organized religion, we do not follow. I am a hoodoo practitioner. I am a root worker. But again, that is not an ID. That is not, worshiping anything. That is working with the earth. That is working with nature. That is a very physical type of magic. We also practice alchemy, mental alchemy. The idea of mentalism. Very multifaceted. Oh, somebody is scamming on my Facebook page.
I got it.
It's so funny to me whenever I go live to do like readings or like coaching and stuff like that on Facebook.
Oh, they even use the same name again. It's not even original.
Oh my God.
Cacao Kitten Bruja.
Wait, no, we gotta report the page. So yeah, that happens all the time. But that's who we are as spiritualists. And I mean, I learn things from Mac all the time. Like he says he's not studied. He's not, oh wow, they are really making their rounds. How do you practice hoodoo without Christianity? I ask because people have told me I can't. I do not have a church background. I didn't go to church growing up. I didn't go to church as an adult. The few times I went to church, I went as an empath. So like feeling the Holy Ghost or feeling the Spirit, I did that every time and I thought something was wrong. I don't have a church background. Now, I fully recognize that hoodoo is rooted in Christianity because hoodoo is a practice that was done. We about to get into it because hoodoo had to be invented because of slavery. And because of slavery, we had to take things that were natural to us as African spiritual beings and disguise it in Christianity in order for it not to be seen as demonic or not to be seen as evil, so that we could still have a sense of our natural DNA driven spirituality, which is also why hoodoo is different depending on where you go. Hoodoo is regional, right? Louisiana hoodoo, which is where my roots are from, is going to be different than Alabama hoodoo. It's going to be different than Georgia hoodoo. It's going to be different because of where we were placed when it came to slavery. So while there are elements of Christianity in hoodoo, because the Book of Psalms is just a book of spells, you don't have to be a Christian to do hoodoo. Like, now there are a lot of people who are leaving Christianity and finding that hoodoo is a nice gateway for them. But as somebody with no church background, I do just fine. Don't let anybody tell you how to practice, especially not hoodoo, because hoodoo is not a closed practice when it comes to black folks. How you hoodoo is up to you, because at the end of the day, hoodoo is about using the resources you have to manifest what you want. And if you can't come up with a spell, but all you got is the Bible, then you take what you need out of that Bible and you create a spell. You see what I'm saying? I don't have a Bible. I don't use the Bible. I use the Book of Psalms, because you can just buy the Book of Psalms and it'll show you how to use the Book of Psalms for spell work. So I have that, but I don't use Bible. Don't let people tell you how to hoodoo. Plain and simple. Now I'm saying this black woman to black woman, black person to black person. Sorry, I don't want to accidentally misgender you. But, yeah, hoodoo the way you want to. Don't let nobody tell you differently. Because I'm going to put my hand in this dirt, and I'm going to get these herbs, and I'm going to get these crystals, and I'm going to do whatever the hell I need to do, and I'm going to say these psalms over this pot. You know what I'm saying? Now, I can't speak to ATR. I can't speak to Ifa, because that is a closed religious practice that I am not initiated in. That is something that has boundaries. That is something that, you might have people telling you can't do this, you can't do that. Now, I will say, if you got a deity coming to you saying they want to work with you, can't nobody tell you otherwise. Can't nobody take that experience away from you. Be respectful, though. Good question. Any other questions, guys? We gotta figure out, what are we eating? What are we eating once today?
You should cook something.
Okay. Ooh, steak fries.
I love you.
Yeah. So, when it comes to food, I am a Taurus sun. He's a Taurus moon. We be in here grubbing. Let me tell you. I will get up and cook a fucking full course meal just because of a whim. Like, we be in here throwing down in the kitchen. This man can bake some chicken wings that fall off the bone. When I tell you, if I wasn't already in love, that would have did it. My daughter don't like nobody. She immediately fell in love with this man because of his chicken. And will fight you over that chicken too. Like, let her come home and we've eaten some of his chicken and didn't have any for her. Nobody will know peace in this house. Like, and I'm gonna keep gushing over you, because that was another reason why I fell in love with this man, because my kids have loved him from the day that they saw him on FaceTime. Like, his energy is just like I'm talking in half sentences now, because like, that's always a concern as a mother, dating is, will this person like my kids? I don't want to bring a bunch of guys around my kids. I never really brought anybody around my kids. before Mac. So it was like, I hope they like him because I love him. And it was so amazing to watch my kids just instantly fall in love with him. And they have loved him and seen him as a stepfather from like day one. And that clinched it for me.
So, anybody buy any new video games lately?
Not you trying to change the subject. I love you and stuff.
Yeah, I love you and stuff too, but that don't mean you gotta keep talking about me though.
I'm gonna have a whole live when he not here and just talk about him while he ain't here.
I'm gonna cancel the account. y'all just gonna see Coco Mac Pro don't exist no more.
Wow.
You're gonna be in the middle of the live, it's just gonna cut off. You're not gonna know what happened.
It be your own nigga, man. It be your own nigga. It's a cold game. I'm glad I can help. I really am glad I can help. If you have any other questions, you can always hit me up. Because Hoodoo is where I got my beginning. When I really got into my spiritual journey, Hoodoo is where I started. And no matter how many twists and turns I take, I always come back to Hoodoo, you know. And one of the people that, you know, if you want to deify her, that I keep close to my heart is Marie Laveau. And I always come back to Mother Laveau at the end of the day. But I mean, we can talk about video games, you know.
I do need to get back to my nuts at some point.
This man has decided to do a Pokemon Sword and Shield, goddamn, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Nuzlocke on the first playthrough, which is insane because those of you who are playing Scarlet and Violet, you know this game is ridiculously open world, and like a Nuzlocke is insane, babe.
Well, I already started.
I am streaming Dreamlight Valley. Oh, goodness. Excuse me. I am streaming Dreamlight Valley tomorrow, actually, on Twitch, Coco Mac Pro. No, Coco_Mac_Gaming. And, you know, we hop on every once in a while for our Pokemon journey for Scarlet and Violet. So you guys are always welcome. I drop a TikTok to let you guys know we're on the Twitch whenever we are about to go live. So be on the lookout for that. I might go tomorrow. I don't know what time yet.
So yeah.
Max running out of steam, y'all.
Kinky, polyamorous, spiritual, all that good stuff.
Basically, that's who we are. That is our introduction. You know, now that we have 8,500 followers, we're just now introducing ourselves to you guys. That is what we want our content to be. Let's normalize black kink. Let's normalize black queer. I am pansexual as the fuck. Let's normalize just being who we want to be. That's it. So, we might do this again in a couple weeks. Or,
you know, maybe actually have something prepared next time.
Who knows? You know, maybe we'll just go live and have an activity of some sort.
Love you too.
Love you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. You know, we're definitely going to start doing this more often. You know what we should do?
What should we do?
Is play a board game on live.
That is a terrible idea.
That is an amazing idea.
That is awful.
He's saying that because of who I am when we play board games.
Just fix the screen on Monopoly on the TV, and you can hear our voices, but you can only see the screen.
I'm a horrible Monopoly player, but I'm also a great Monopoly player.
If you ever want to see a live beginnings of a divorce, that's how you go about it right there.
I may slightly be a little ruthless when it comes to Monopoly. I'm a different person. I'm definitely not submissive when I play Monopoly. I'll put it that way. He's not happy with me when we play Monopoly. Maybe we'll play Clue.
Do we have a Clue board?
I think so. I think it's Simpsons Clue.
Interesting.
We are a board game house. We have so many board games. It's ridiculous. Excellent idea. Yes, we might have to play Monopoly next time we go live.
Live Cards Against Humanity.
Ooh.
We need more than 2 people, though.
We do need more than 2 people. Cards Against Humanity. I wish there was a way you can play Cards Against Humanity on, like, a video game. So, like, you can play...
There's online Cards Against Humanity.
I live in a bubble, apparently. I don't know about shit. Oh, I don't know what to tell you. But I'm not going to hold y'all. Mac is running out of steam, and I'm getting hungry. So, we're going to hop off this thing. We're definitely going to do this more often, get some more people involved, and have a good time. So, we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. And make sure you guys are following us for more content. You got to press the button this time, my love.
I guess. Where's the button?
All the way at the top. Yep.